Georgetown, the capital city once referred to as the Garden City, is reclaiming its title, and residents and visitors, old and young, are encouraged by the works they see taking place. On Guyana 411 this week, we look at the transformation taking place in Georgetown, the cleanup, fixing streets, creating play parks, the comprehensive program to restore Georgetown as the Garden City of the Caribbean. If you live in Georgetown or visit often because of work or other business, you would have noticed the vast amount of garbage being removed. We do not have an estimate of how many tons of garbage would have been removed, but truly it seems like years upon years of garbage, refuse and waste are being removed, layer by layer, to reveal a beautiful, clean city.
Georgetown and its environs have been given a fresh look with the change in government. This fresh look gives a sense of relief, calmness and cleanliness, and by extension causes one truly to feel that this is the Guyana once talked about.
Give thanks for the health, the cleaning that can prevent everybody to be comfortable in life. Because the first thing is health-wise. The father never like a nasty person. So let me keep it clean and keep it focused. Because it's not money, it's health and then money after. Give thanks and praise for what's going on. Keep it clean all the time.
Well, the cleanup in Guyana is coming along very successful. I like what they're doing on South Road. It looks like we're going to have a lovely march this year, next year time. And it looks like we're ready for this road here, man. The government's ready for the... I like what they're doing also on Carmichael Street around the presidential palace also. It's very clean around there. And I see the vendors are complaining if a person throws anything on the floor, which is a good thing, you know. They're trying to stop everybody else and pull up everybody else themselves around from dirtying up and littering up the place. As you can see right now, the place is orderly, you know. We might have a little things on the thing that we have to, but one thing they need to do is put a garbage bin on every corner, I feel. And that will limit the amount of excess little rubbish on the road that we have.
So far, it's coming better in Guyana right now, as I could see it, because where it was like before, wasn't properly healthy for people living. Also selling things to eat wrong, the place. And the president and the town clerk is doing something good. For the couple of times the new government has been changed.
The cleanup is great. I appreciate every moment of it. And I do hope, or I'm looking forward for everybody to just continue to assist you guys with the great work that you're doing, right? If they can help to maintain in whatever way, if they can just put the garbage in their bag or whatever and take it home and then dispose of it properly, or they can use the bin properly, you know? So that has to keep the city clean. I mean, it's a beautiful country we live in, but it's us as Guyanese are doing this, right? And if we can pull ourselves together, we can be just like the overseas people. Because basically if we get there, we adjust ourselves to whatever is going on over there. So why can't we do it right here in our own country?
Already a number of garbage piles around the city have been removed. Overgrowths are no more, so too are canals, drains and alleyways filled with garbage. Roadways, once terribly neglected, have been rehabilitated and paved, and the Mermons Mall and Durban Square have been transformed to open spaces to be used for recreational purposes.
The main councils of the city of Georgetown has commenced a massive project to restore the integrity of the Garden City. And this involves the cleaning and the silting of all our canals, drains, alleyway drains. It involves weeding of our carpets and verges. We've commenced works in the Agricola, Mactoum, Houston and Meadowbank area. At present, contractors are working in the Lazytown border area. Works are due to commence in Festival City, Campbellville and Topville area next week. And so we're asking citizens out there to cooperate with the council. Even as we clean, do not dispose of your garbage in the alleyways and drains that have already been cleaned and desilted. We are out every single day. We have workers employed to different areas cleaning. Right now we have persons in Lazytown, we have persons in Border, we have persons on the Merriman's Mall, we have people in Agriculture, we have people in Macro cleaning. And what they're doing now, it is fantastic because they're doing a thorough job. If you check the Lazytown area, the alleyways and so on, I don't want to go, criticize anyone, but the contractors now, they are giving their best. They're doing their best. You can actually see to the bottom of the drains. You can see that it is concrete drains that we had before.
A multi-agency task force coming under the auspices of the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, headed by Major General retired Joe Singh, was created to come up with a plan that will transform not only Georgetown but the entire country. The sole objective is to have the name the Garden City being materialized. Meanwhile, the mayor and the city council has deployed cleaning teams, whilst the force account unit from the Ministry of Public Infrastructure is rehabilitating roads. Additionally, the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority has deployed equipment to clean city canals.
It was terrible. It was terrible. The taxi drivers didn't want to come in here because of the condition of the road. It was so bad. The taxi drivers didn't want, the people that have cars in here, it was breaking up the cars and all of that. So we are thankful for the new government, what they're doing for us. It's been a while we've been suffering with bad roads. So we're grateful for this opportunity and we're happy for what they're doing now. And they're doing a reasonably good job. One or two little things, but they're doing a reasonably good job. We're satisfied.
The road was bad from there, right through, right around. And on that one side, I had no road at all.
So what happened when it rained with the road?
When it drizzled with the road, not when it rained. When it drizzled, you want to walk very, very far. You can't come in. I got two long boots, one for tongue and one for here. Because you can't come out to the boot. And as I tell you, look here. Just take this. When the rain come up, this is the height already. And when the rain come, this gone right into me house.
I'm happy to see the quality of work that the force account unit would have done here in the West Rumveld area, because indeed it is my constituency. Since 2011 I have been working in this particular area, both East and West Rumveld, and the state of the community roads in this area, it was impossible to access, but thank God that we were able to accomplish, I think so far, 7 streets thus far have been completed over the past 2 weeks. So I just want to commend Mr. Mentis and team for ensuring that these roads are paved so that the residents can have easily access in and out of these areas.
You mentioned 7 roads thus far. So is that a hint to say that more roads will be done in the community?
Yes, obviously, because what I said to the technical guys is that before coming out of West Rumveld, I would like for you to do a thorough assessment. Whichever roads are left to be done, let us make one thing and complete all roads in the West Rumveld.
Right now we're in discussions with small community leaders in groups in the communities to do cleanup, not only in the center of Georgetown, but on the outskirts and the other area communities. So West Rumveld, East Rumveld, Lane Avenue, Tiger Bay, all over will be cleaned. And so we will ensure that the maintenance of that cleaning is also provided for in our budgets for 2016 and beyond.
Even as the city and its environs are being cleaned, along with its roads being rehabilitated, villages on the outskirts are still benefiting from cleanup activities.
Actually, we're in Cummins Lodge, and we are attempting to do some significant work as it relates to clearing and desilting these canals, which have not been done for perhaps more than 20 years. initially at the request of residents, but more so because in our overall work plan, this is one of the key areas. This is on the extreme boundary of Georgetown as it is. And this is one of the key areas in supporting what the Mayor and City Council is doing and the more overall plan for drainage and desilting in Georgetown to alleviate the flooding and the issues of flooding in people's homes and neighborhoods as a whole. So what we are doing is the kind of intervention to ensure that all the surrounding canals are desilted and significantly desilted, and in many instances the stuff is carted away, and the internal drains, the lateral drains and otherwise, are cleaned so that come rainy season, this area, like its surrounding areas, should be much better off in terms of flooding.
I'm a resident of the GEC scheme Ugani Park area. And what is happening here today, it's long overdue. Because as soon as the rain falls, we're underwater. And we're very much thankful to the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Mr. David Patterson, Mr. Mackenzie, and the staff for making this possible for us. And we, the residents here, we promise we will hold some sort of meeting, we get something so we could keep this maintained. Because we cannot afford to let the government come in here to do all of our work. We have to do something to help ourselves.
This is the beginning of a new era. Thanks to Mr. Sylvester and Mr. Mackenzie for doing such a wonderful job. Mr. Sylvester was very persistent in getting help, and when Mr. Mackenzie came here, he did a tremendous job. He not only sat and watched me, he could organize and he could coordinate all his machinery. And I was the one instrumental in getting that machine over there, because we will save the trucks a lot of time to go and dump this garbage. And when these trucks go across there, when these machines go across to dump the garbage, fill a land, and it will save time. What has happened here? Since the last year in 2002, they dig it slightly. We have no drainage, no road in this area here. We have been left abandoned for the past 13 years. And now we have a change of government, and I hope things can change for the better for the people of this community.
Motorists moving around the city have much to smile about. While the traffic congestion is still there, many of the pothole streets have been fixed, and it is now a smooth drive around the city.
With the roads rehabilitated, this is giving comfort to road users and pedestrians. It is transforming to a country where young professionals who have heard of the dream of El Dorado can remain, work, and build that dream.
In the Grand Georgetown Restoration Venture, parks and community grounds are being cleaned and people are taking advantage of the open spaces.
Historically known as Border Green, the Merriman's Mall is a large expanse of land that starts from the eastern section of Camp Street, continuing in an eastward position onto Irving Street. It is paralleled by two continuous streets, Church Street to its north and North Road to its south. It is named after Claude Alfonso Merriman, who had served as an elected mayor of the capital city of Georgetown in the 1960s. It is evident that the mall, sections of which served as a playfield and a children's recreational park, has undergone changes, particularly over the past 2 decades. A significant section now houses concrete business shops, while another accommodates a skating area. Vendors occupy the skating area thrice weekly. Another section, perhaps intended as a place for relaxation, with a few benches, has fallen into disuse. However, this particular section of the Merriman's Mall is now receiving the significant attention of the restoration plan for the capital city of Georgetown.
This area has been transformed into a child-friendly one, with equipment such as seesaws, slides, and climbing frames being installed.
I feel it's a very good thing what happening now for the children, so we could get places where they could go and play, enjoy themselves. We could see we could have a little more activities for the children, will be better too.
How do you feel this would benefit them as a child?
Well, as a child, benefit them in many ways, going exercising, have things they could talk in school, education, everything wise.
I think this was a really good idea because it gives the children a chance to relax after school. It's clean, it's a very nice atmosphere, and well, my son loves it. I think it's a good idea.
I feel happy about it because I get to come play and stay before I go home so I can do my homework at home. I feel happy about this playground because I get to come often. I have a lot of fun stuff to do. I wish I could just keep coming more. I feel fun about this play park because it gives people a good time to play, like much time when they come, they could swing, slide, and do fun stuff.
Meanwhile, similar interventions will be done at the East Rongvelf and Roxanne Burnham Gardens playground. These areas has been cleaned and the council will soon be installing the necessary equipment. These interventions are part of the Mayor and City Council's effort to reclaim its open spaces to make them more accessible to children and the general public.
Thank you for the play park!
As Guyana 411 continues to look at the restoration of Georgetown, we turn our attention to City Hall and more specifically what has been happening of recent to bring about this transformation.
The restoration of Georgetown can only be sustained if the body responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the city functions effectively and efficiently. That body is the Mayor and City Council of Georgetown. Up until recently, the Mayor and City Council were complaining of not receiving the support needed from central government to carry out their functions. That has changed.
With our new Minister of Communities, we were informed almost immediately that the hand of control that had once held up the City Council and most of the NDCs from doing their job will now be relieved from them, and they will be offering a hand of support and collaboration with the Mayor and City Council.
The change in relationship between central government and the local authority of the Mayor and City Council has brought about a change in the internal working relationship at the council. Gone are the days of the office of the town clerk and council working against each other, and this is aiding the restoration efforts.
With the installation of our new town clerk, Mr. Royston King, and with the vision of the City Council, work started immediately. After the President would have done the initiative of the Arch, the Council got on board. Quite a number of organizations and citizens of Georgetown came on board to assist us with the cleaning, and it has been from then to now, and it will continue until we get Georgetown to the state as where it was before, and when we're looking at beyond what Georgetown should look like in another couple of years.
For years, Georgetown had suffered from the turbulent relationship between central government and the City Council. This had resulted in the council being starved of funds to clean and maintain the city. The new relationship is established on the principle of decentralized government.
We are grateful that we are allowed at last to do our work. That shadow of darkness has been removed, and our officers and town clerk, they're all enthused. There's a new energy, there's a new flow of energy that is going on in City Hall. And sometimes I say, like, we have racing parts, everybody's just trying to get things done.
Today, municipal workers could be seen cleaning the city drains, open space, play fields, markets, burial grounds, and removing garbage on a daily basis. And local issues such as clogged drains, gutters and trenches, overgrown cemeteries, play fields, and parapets are becoming less and less of a problem.
We're working towards the goal beyond the 50th anniversary. Everybody says, oh, everything clean up for the 50th anniversary, but it's beyond. What we're doing with Georgetown now is the development of a better city. And so we are moving forward.
It is the firm belief of this administration that the concept or policy of micromanaging, which had obtained previously, is a recipe for failure. And this administration is determined not to continue along that path, but to distance ourselves as quickly as we can and to move in an opposite direction, which is to empower and then as well to equip our respective organs to seek to build the capacity to provide institutional strengthening to enable them to discharge their manifold responsibilities.
Today, as residents welcome the return of Georgetown, the Garden City, all hands are on board. There is no interference or fear of officers executing their jobs. Instead, there is a town clerk working with the City Council, and more importantly, the function of the Oversight Ministry is to collaborate with and provide support to the efforts of the Council, thereby enabling them to become more productive and self-sustaining.
In Guyana, we have a saying, better late than never. While this cleanup exercise has been long overdue, Now that it is happening, it has full support.
Georgetown is one of the few cities in the Caribbean that still retain much of the architecture remnant of its colonial history. This of itself can be turned into a tourist attraction. However, over the many years, these buildings fell into disrepair. The Ministry of Tourism is working with partners to ensure that our natural heritage assets are accessible to visitors and are an integral part of our tourism offering.
We can't overemphasize the importance of our seat of government, the capital city, and of course a tremendous advantage we have that we want to explore as we expand our tourism product is of course heritage tourism. And we are in a fabulous building that is of very strong historical importance. And I was so excited as I was coming into the compound to see that some of the restoration and repairs have started. When you look at cities as close as, for example, Paramaribo in Suriname, we have tremendous opportunity to go back to the drawing board to look at the possibilities of having this part of Georgetown listed as a UNESCO heritage site. It's important for our tourists that come to be able to see the Georgetown area. We want them to go and spend some time in our churches, our historical buildings, our restaurants. So all of this plays a very, very important role in tourism.
Camp Street is one of the oldest streets in the city and received its name because it was the road that led to the camp or garrison at the northern end of the city. Tourists, even those who visit Guyana to experience the wonders of the country's numerous waterfalls and its flora and fauna, request sightseeing tours to heritage sites in the city. They are generally impressed with architecture, especially the Stabroek Market, Parliament Building, and the St. George's Cathedral. The Ministry of Tourism plans to adopt the section of Camp Street in the vicinity of the Colgrain House. The plan is to beautify that area.
Georgetown is critical to the image of Guyana as a tourism destination. Too often we hear, oh, this place has some fantastic attractions, but the city this and that. So we want to move to the point where that but, it will not be but the city is dirty or but the city needs cleaning. Say it's a fantastic place and the Georgetown is a very charming place. So we are all aware of some improvements taking place in the city. Those improvements are very striking. They're very conspicuous to all observers.
The Mayor and City Council has fully supported this rejuvenated tourism drive, and the Council and the Ministry are collaborating to ensure sustainability of the efforts.
We want to not only restore Georgetown in terms of drainage and irrigation and structures, but ensure that we recapture the beauty and to put in place the President's dictum for a green city. And that green city has a broad connotation, as you probably know. It includes maintaining our heritage sites. Many people believe that those massive steel glass structures going up all over the place are important. When visitors come, they like to see St. George's Cathedral, City Hall, and the delightful buildings we've had over the years. Unhappily, many of them were destroyed from 1949 Great Fire to the problems of the 50s and the 60s. So it's important that we recapture the beauty and charm of Georgetown.
Tourist arrivals are expected to be significantly boosted for the upcoming Christmas season, and the restoration exercise has definitely placed Guyana on another level, one that now has a breath of fresh air, that encourages leisure activities and a simple afternoon stroll along the clean avenues of the city.
Apart from the generally vast improved ambience, it is the impact the cleanup will have on the health of the citizens.
An unsoiled environment is a healthy setting, and in recognition of this, the administration has strengthened its effort to ensure a clean Guyana. Guyanese can once again boast of the Garden City, which with great efforts have been somewhat restored to its beautiful state. But along with its physical features, Georgetown is now even healthier. No longer is there a vector-infested environment or bushes alongside the roadways or clogged drains. Individuals can now enjoy a more relaxed evening walk in the city or alongside the seawalls, or even spend quality time in their own yard without being faced with the discomfort of being bitten by mosquitoes or other vector-related creatures, which could result in them falling ill.
From the cleanup campaign that we have been through this vicinity, it has helped us in a lot of ways in terms of to get rid of pesticide. Years ago, we used to have a lot of centipede, a lot of cockroach, a lot of mosquito eggs and larvae inside of the stagnated water. But since now we have cleaned the gutters to a very low level and we allow water to flow, and it has helped us because at first you used to sit out here and mosquito used to bite you a lot, and when they started to bite you, you used to be scratching, but now it don't really happen on that basis, and since the place has been cleaned. So I think we all benefit from it. And the other aspect that we have benefit also because since we park our load here and the gutter used to be high before we cleaned it, so water used to get up very, very quick, and then it would catch on some of your goods, and then you would have to, the council make sure that you have to get rid of that because that is not good for human health. But since now we've cleaned the gutter now, the other day I see there was a heavy downpour, but then the place wasn't flooded. Within minutes the water ran off. So I guess all the citizens, not all the citizens, all the vendors of border markets are benefiting from this.
There is no longer a burdensome sight with regards to piles of garbage at the municipal markets, since vendors and generally citizens are aiding in the sustainability of the cleanup efforts. This has also led to a reduction in rodents such as rats and cockroaches in public spaces, primarily around the markets and vending facilities as well as in the homes.
This clean environment will only last for as long as we, the residents of Georgetown, decide to keep it clean. It is therefore important that all, starting with the small children and moving up to the adults, be taught the importance of keeping this environment clean.
The efforts to clean up and restore Georgetown would be very short-lived if citizens do not care and maintain the environment. It is in this regard that the Office of the Mayor and City Council has embarked on an intensive education program. Among the first to be educated on the need to upkeep the environment are primary school-age students.
We have started a school environmental awareness program in our schools in the city of Georgetown. The main focus of the program is to get the children in the schools to have the right attitude towards the environment. We would have visited a number of schools and we would have done our environmental awareness talk. We would have done edutainment with them. That is one means of getting people to change their attitudes and behavior patterns towards the environment. It has been proven that that has worked world over, and so we would have employed the same strategy. During the exercise, we would have observed the need for additional work in some of the schools, and so the second phase of the program will commence from the 1st of November. We would have identified specific schools in which we would target every single stakeholder, and that includes the parents, the child, the teacher, and even those who sell in and around the school environs. And so we would have done that program before at the South Franklin Park Primary School, and we observed a marked change in the way the environment is being kept. And so we're going to employ the same strategy, the same program. Only what we will do is to examine it and see how it would meet the needs of the specific school and see how we can alter the program to meet the needs of the schools.
Where necessary, the council has been distributing free bins to assist the students and teachers in keeping their school environment clean. Focus is also on the commercial sector. The City Council is moving to ensure that businesses have adequate receptacles for the waste they generate. This is absolutely necessary, as not having the requisite receptacle can lead to garbage in the city's alleys, drains and canals.
Recently, we had just completed our refuse receptacle campaign in and around the Laceytown area, where we visited businesses to see the type of refuse receptacle that we have. We check to see if the receptacle is adequate and where it may deem or look to be inadequate, we serve them with the notices to ensure they have the requisite refuse receptacle on the premises.
The council has also started the anti-litter unit to patrol the streets of Georgetown to help bring an end to littering. Persons caught in the act are arrested and charged and their names published. The name and shame effort is to deter further littering. On a larger scale, the council has slated its first Green Conference and Expo in the vicinity of the Promenade Gardens, Georgetown. This will be the council's first national conversation and to its largest audience as it relates to maintaining the city's environment. Supporting the exercise is the corporate sector as well as local artists. The artists are to stage an environmental concert.
The first day we have the opening, where we will have the conference. Then we have the second day, which you will have the expo and the concert. And the final day, you will have the expo and the concert also.
There was a time when the capital city, Georgetown, was a model of cleanliness. A thorough schedule of daily maintenance activities ensured every drain and every alley throughout the municipality was cleaned and the canals cleared. In those days, citizens understood the need to keep the city clean. They ensured that household garbage was properly disposed into the bins and they did not litter. We must adopt those attitudes if the city of Georgetown is to return to and maintain its status of the Garden City of the Caribbean.
Guyana 411 looked at the restoration of the Garden City. A total transformation is taking place, but we, all of us, have to work to keep it clean. This has been a production of the Government Information Agency. Hi, I'm Michaela Santos saying thank you for joining us.